All right, folks, Ryder here, and I'm gonna do a live stream of my hive inspections, and just thought I'd show you what I've got set up today because I'm getting smarter all the time. Let's do this again, switch the lens around. Okay, so I got a table set up right here that I can put things on, and I've got some blocks that are going to be used to prop the camera up since I don't have a proper stand yet. I have some medium boxes with frames in them so that if I add to any of these, and some of these have some drawn out comb and stuff in them already. I have a couple of top feeders that I'll be putting on some hives today, and I've got an inside feeder for medium setup, and then this bucket is full of over 4 gallons of syrup. So I'm all set up there. I'm gonna get my smoker going in just a second with this stuff here. I've got some gloves and some tools that are helpful in inspections. So for right now, I think I'm going to start on this hive. This is Bella, and Bella is going to most likely get a top tray of syrup and a medium box added to it. So let me go ahead and get the camera set up over here. I'm going to set it up right here so it points right down into the box. So these bricks are kind of good because I'm able to angle the camera. And let me go ahead and pull up my other phone and check my channel so I can see who's on, because it shows that I have one person. And find my Twitch app. You know what? I'll do this, and then I'm going to get the smoker going. Okay, so go to my channel, and it says it's live. Live with one viewer. And if you have any questions, just put them in the comments and I will respond to them. Let me know who's here so I don't have to go do any research. So this hive's got some really good activity right now, which is great. And I'm confident I'm going to be able to expand this hive today. Well, I'm going to set this phone back down into the shade. Also, I didn't show you, but I do have 2 sterilized tools, so I'll be using 2 different tools here today. Let me get the smoker going. Well, hopefully everybody else is enjoying their Super Bowl Sunday as much as I am. I've been doing a bunch of chores and doing a bunch of prep work here for the beehives. Like, I got this smoker going pretty darn good. I might have to grab more material depending on how long this inspection goes for. But right now, we're puffing some good smoke. So I'm going to get some smoke in there first and then just set it down and get my suit on. And this is a full body suit. So hopefully there will be 0 stings happening today. You never know. I might entertain you with a yipe or a yip. Alrighty then. Okay, So, I don't know if that's catching me or not, but my face is fully protected. I'm gonna put the elastic that's pretty worn out around my thumbs. Get my gloves on. Check the phone one more time. All right. So I'm still not seeing any messages. Just got my one viewer. And get on my other glove, and here we go. So I'm going to start by pulling off this entire top box and setting it aside. And you'll see that there is a pizza pan that still has a bunch of wax with some honey on it. I'm smoking them all down here. And I'll go around the back side so I'm not blocking their front entrance. And I'm going to remove this out of here. And I'm going to set this a ways away. Do not want to cause a robbing situation. So I'm going to pick up this pollen patty for right now and set that aside. And I'm going to clean off this extra little bit of wax here on the top. Hopefully without harming any of my girls. All right. So that wax is cleaned off. I do have a little bucket for wax right here. And I can even put propolis in one side of it. So there's wax in one side and propolis in the other. All right, so I'm going to start at this side. And while I don't normally pull the end frame out, this one's got so much space that I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to knock those bees off. It's a blank frame. Set it aside. And let's dive in. So I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, possibly 7 frames with bees on them. This one is full of honey. And it is a medium frame that is full of honey. So I'm actually going to knock these bees off of it. And this is going to go in the top box that I add to this. So again, I'm going to set that aside for right now. And the next frame over is a full frame. Well, there was a lot of wet nectar in there, so I just made a mess. So this is drawn out nicely. Clean that off of these and set it aside. All right, so these are the 7 frames that count. And wow, there's an absolute mess in the bottom of this box. So I'm going to pull off my glove for just a second. And you can see that there's an absolute mess in the bottom of this box. So I am going to put a new bottom board on this box. Yeah, so this is going to be a little bit tricky here. Put this back right there. Okay, and we're going to do our inspection first, and then that way I can just go ahead and scrape propolis off and stuff into the bottom of this box as I go. So this next frame, it looks like they're on one side of it, but not the other. And this one looks a little messy. Get those bees to move out of the way. Okay, so there was some adjoining wax on this from another one. I'm actually going to scrape this out. Don't like what I see going on here on this frame. And I'm going to go ahead and knock these bees down in. And I'm going to clean this propolis off of this one. Just off the sides to make more room so it's easier to work the hive. And I do also have extra frames set up already to make this whole process easier. So there we go. We've got a bunch of frames set aside. And now let's see what we got here. Wow, we got some wild comb on this one. So I don't know if this was foundationless frame when it went in or what the deal is, but it is interconnected with another frame. So I'm actually cutting off this comb and pushing it over. So these two frames, yeah, so that's wild comb in there. I am going to take this one and leave it. But first, and I don't want to knock these bees off because I could easily knock this wax off as well. It's not on a foundation, it's foundationless. That's why I call it wild comb. I'm going to clean the propolis off the side. And I'm going to slide this all the way over to the edge. And I'm actually going to slide it all the way over to the edge in this direction. And I'm going to scrape off this excess wax on here. All right, now I can slide it all the way over to the edge. There we go. So that's going to be our first. Now I'm going to put in a blank frame right next to that because that one's swelling up a little bit. That's okay. Get this little bit of propolis off of here. Slide that over. All right, so the next one is a wild comb, and the wild comb has fallen. So this is going to get messy here on me. This is going to be a very messy ordeal. So each one of these frames is connected to the frame next to it. This is a real problem here on the bottom of this one. So I've had to slice it, and I might need to go get some rubber bands. Okay, there's my brood. So there's some brood right there. So I am going to set this aside. I'm actually going to get my helping hands. There's a holder that fits right on the side of the box, like so. And I can just hang this here. And it's a nice warm day, so I'm not worried about this brood cooling off too much. But I've got 2 sheets of honey in here, or comb in here, that are completely loose. Let me go ahead and grab the camera again real quick. You can see there's 2 in there that have completely fallen free. So I'm going to pull those out and I'll rubber band them up. I'm glad I went into this hive today. Let's see what I can do with these. I'm going to gently pick it up. I see a queen cup on here. There's a queen cup on here and a bunch of drones, but it looks like a succession cup because it's up higher, not a swarm cup. So I'm going to set this on top of here gently so I don't crush any bees. And I'm going to pull out that other piece that I'm going to have to rubber band in as well. And this one here has a little bit of brood on it, but it's mostly honey. I might just harvest this and rubber band this little piece of brood section into it. All right. Well, we will pull out this chunk of wax and this chunk of wax and honey and hope that the rest of this hive doesn't continue to behave this way with this wild comb that's bulging. All right, I'm cutting it free from this other frame. And I'm going to pause for a minute and give this thing some more smoke. Well, Bella is a mess. This hive is Bella. It is what I consider to be the first hive in the colony, even though it wasn't my original hive. That is sitting just a couple feet away, and we'll look at that one in a bit. All right, do I have a bee up my sleeve? I hope not. Got a couple on me here. And I felt something, but it could just be a piece of pampas grass from my work earlier. All right. So this, again, is another frame where it's intermixed with the one next door. And we've got some sideways stuff going on in here. Unfortunately, I'm pulling out some brood. I don't know if I'm going to be able to repair that or not. This one's going to need rubber bands on it as well. God, it's a mess in here. Yeah, I'm going to slide this one over. I'm not going to put rubber bands on it. What I'm going to do is gently push it over, and I'm going to put another blank frame up against it. This one right here. And see if I can just kind of crush this over and in. All right, I need a completely blank frame. And we got one. So that's going to go in here, and I'm going to use that to hold that frame together. All right. There we go. Then the next one's decent. All right. It looks like the next two are interconnected again. Those little chunks that have brood in them, unfortunately, might end up going to the chickens. Now let's see what happens when I start moving this frame over. And again, I've got the same damn thing. They've just really intermixed these frames together. All right. This one is going to be okay. What I'm going to do is just take this wire. There's actually a wire in here, and I'm going to reposition it. There we go. That'll work. I'm going to scrape off this extra bit of wax. And I'm going to look at the next frame. All right.